Terrorform podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Kristin.
I'm Erin.
This is Donnie.
And we're here to make the world a creepier place.
Today's episode is about aliens, which it seems like a lot of people have seen some aliens around this town that we currently reside in.
It's meth.
Talking about my mama.
No, I'm just kidding.
Controversy.
Gas leak.
Yeah.
Gas.
The reason I want to talk about aliens is because I have a potential UFO story. It's debatable, I guess you'd say. But I'll let you guys be the judge and see what you guys think about this. Okay. So, I was 16, 17, something like that, with a friend of mine at his house. And we decided we wanted to take a walk around his neighborhood. And so we took the walk. We're walking the block. By the time we're almost back at his house, it's like not dark, but the sun was going down. And we both see something in our peripheral vision, and we turn and we kind of look up, and we see something flying like left to right, I guess you'd say, if you're looking up at the sky, like flying really fast but way too low to be like an airplane or something. And it's flying super fast, and it comes to a full stop like really quick, like right in front of us, way too quick, and it's just hovering right in front of us. And I think the only thing I could get out, I was like, dude. And he doesn't say anything, and then it just takes off just as fast as like it came to a stop. And I'm like standing there in shock, and I look, and my friend had started walking already, like he continued walking, and I catch up, I'm like, what did we just see? And he goes, it doesn't matter. I go, what do you mean it doesn't matter? And he goes, no one's going to believe us. I go, was that like a UFO? He goes, it doesn't. Let's just not talk about this.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
He's trying to train you. Yeah, he's trying to train you for whenever the Men in Black show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we get back to his house, and we don't tell anybody. We don't tell like his dad or his mom or anything like that. And leading up to this event, we had actually been talking a lot about aliens, like wanting them to exist, and like, man, that'd be kind of cool. Like, yeah, I want to see an alien, like. And the next morning after the event happened, we wake up, and I bring it up to Albert. Hi, Albert. And I say, dude, what about what we saw last night? Are we really not going to say anything? And he goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, I know you said we're not going to, we could talk about it amongst each other, though. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That boy made decisions when he went to bed.
Okay, so.
It's not happened. It never happened. Just forget about it.
So years later, like, this is stuck with me. And I want to say it was even recently I may have brought it up, like within the last year or two. So. And I was like, what about that time we saw that UFO? And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. And every time I bring it up, he goes, I'm completely serious. And so there's two options here. Number one, which is what he tells me is the truth, is that I was dreaming and that I think this dream is real. But if this dream was real, it's the most realistic dream that I've ever had. And usually if you have like a really realistic dream, you wake up and you go, oh, that was a dream. Even though I felt like it was real when I was in it, I know that I'm awake now.
You just remember waking up.
Yeah. But this, I remember going to sleep. And I remember,
continued.
Yeah, I know this happened. Like, I feel like this happened. So the second option is he was abducted, and they wiped his memory of the entire evening. Okay, now what do you think about that?
So with both options, regardless, the aliens existed.
Are you sure it was
What?
Albert? that
I'm
you were
sure
with?
it was Albert. And the reason I know it was Albert was because there was a point in time where for some reason I had moved in with him and I was living with him. Like, for no reason, we decided one night, hey, I'm going to move in. We went back to my house and I literally started packing my clothes and I go, Mom, I'm moving in with Albert. She goes, what? I go, I'm moving in with Albert. She goes, is his mom okay with it? And Albert's like, yeah, she's good. And I lived there for like months.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Months. And my dad called me one day. He was like, why are you living at Albert's house? You're coming home today. I was like, what? I don't even live with you, Dad. I live with Mom. But yeah, I know for sure it was Albert. And he doesn't think it happened.
Maybe he forgot about it at this point because he suppressed it so much, but he probably was just in denial about it. Like, at first, he just, first he also likes messing with you.
Yeah, but why would he mess with me about this? Like, this was a big moment for me. The thing flew up super quick, and if I'm remembering correctly, there were like colored lights like around it. And it was like, classic flying saucer type thing, but it stopped like way too fast and took off, and I was like,
Some party aliens.
yeah.
I wonder why they would abduct Albert and not like the both of you.
I don't know.
He was chosen.
He may have been
Chosen one.
Or
That, or it could have been like the Men in Black with the
The pin, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
he wiped his memory. They wiped both of our memories, but they did his too far, or they didn't do mine enough, is what it would be if they wanted us to
Yeah.
forget everything.
You're getting flashbacks and slowly coming together.
Yeah.
just like the guy who went underwent
That's what I was
surgery,
thinking.
and they didn't give him any anesthesia.
Wait. What happened?
So the guy.
Off topic.
Yeah, off topic. This dude was getting like a gallbladder or some kind of
Yeah,
surgery.
it was like a gallbladder.
And so, they have the anesthesiologist. So I guess there's supposed to be like 2 rounds of medication, and they only administered 1. So that one drug paralyzes his whole body, but he's still awake and he can feel everything. He just can't move.
That's a fear of mine.
And he can't scream because his vocals are also paralyzed.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's like.
so he was barely able to move his eyes, and then after I think they said 16 minutes, one of the nurses
Saw
finally realized that his
he
eyes
was
were still
awake.
moving.
They
so
freaked
then
out.
the anesthesiologist
At least
administered.
it was only 16 minutes.
Yeah, but they already cut in and they had
They
like the
pulled
clamps
the-
to
yeah, put
pull
the
it
clamps
over.
and
And
everything.
they said they were digging stuff out.
So then he gave him the anesthesia stuff.
The second
but
round.
then he also gave him this like forget me drug to where it would
So he could forget the surgery.
yeah, it gives him amnesia, so he would forget the
that
surgery.
Exists?
I guess.
Yeah,
So
and-
they
but-
wouldn't
I
have
want that.
a lawsuit.
But since his body underwent so much trauma, he would like have random panic attacks and like
But doesn't
start
know
screaming
why.
out of nowhere because he's just having like flashbacks to what's happening, but he never pieced it together. But then the family finally went
Found out. They found
had
out.
a doctor or somebody look at the paperwork over the procedure.
Uh-huh.
That's how they found out that they actually gave him
Holy
But
crap.
they
Amnesia
found
drug.
out after he died because he killed himself.
No.
because
Yeah, he ended
What
up
kind of stuff are y'all watching?
not sponsored,
Yeah, that's
but they good.
That,
the good.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
super interesting, though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
So
yeah,
maybe,
the aliens definitely have something like that.
Yeah.
I would assume they
This was
would.
making
They
Yeah.
forgot to give you your second dose.
Yeah. Yeah, that part just stayed in my memory banks.
Yeah, that'd be crazy to think. But I know I don't know if it's the same with you. Like, I'm sure somebody could debunk it because, the whole weather balloon thing and all sorts of other stuff. But I remember in junior high, during tennis practice for my PE credit, we were out on the tennis courts, which is outside. And I don't know if it was me who noticed it or somebody was like, hey, look, what's that? And we all look, and it's just this like silver thing sitting in the sky, like completely still. like way up in the sky, like you could barely see it, and unless it was just that small, maybe extraterrestrials are only like a couple inches tall, but it like stayed there for like 15 or so minutes, because it was almost the entire duration of the class, which I think is only like 30-45 minutes, but all of a sudden it just disappeared, like it wasn't there anymore. So I don't know what that could have been, but it's technically a UFO, so
Unidentified flying object, yeah.
but yeah, I think that's the only UFO sighting that I've had that would like legit be a UFO, like it's just an airplane, but this was like sitting stationary for so long and then just disappeared.
Yeah, I've never had a UFO experience. No, but I did go to Roswell when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was pretty cool, thinking about it now. We went to the museum where it was like the crash site of like the alien ship, and they had like a fake life-sized alien in a tube, and it scared me because I thought it was real. I didn't want to like go up to it.
I know your mom's coworker has some alien encounters, but I don't know if you know the details too much. But
I kind of have like, I think I have a good enough understanding or memory of the story that I could like share it a little bit.
But if not, there's like so many alien encounters out there that
I forgot about
we could probably do like a part 2.
I think we will do a part 2.
Yeah. Just because we have so much.
I wasn't even able to get to everyone because I did a poll on Facebook and Instagram, and there were quite a few people who responded that they saw stuff, they've seen something, and some of them I got their stories that they sent to me, and then some of them didn't. But just to give the results of that poll, do you believe in aliens was the first question. I got 22 people who said yes, and 4 people said no. So that's pretty
high.
Donnie was a troll.
On the Facebook one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What did you put?
No for both
you
of
put
them.
no?
It was no 100%.
So it's 23 and 3. Is that the real one?
Is that on Facebook or is that the Instagram?
I combined both of them.
Okay, so I did both of them on Instagram. I did both yeses, and then on Facebook I did both no's.
Oh my!
Because I was like, oh crap!
So you canceled yourself out.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of my poll, so I'm kind of screwing it up.
Yeah, you're screwing up your own poll here, Donnie.
So I had to,
for our content here, we're gonna cut that out.
I kind of realized that after I did it, and then I couldn't undo because on some apps you can undo it and do the other one, but on Facebook you can't. So I was like, oh no, I can't do it. So then I was like, oh, thank God he posted on Instagram. Yes.
All right, well, still pretty high majority believe in aliens. And then the next question was, have you ever seen a UFO or anything else you think was extraterrestrial related? 10 people said yes. 12 people said no. So the first interesting thing is that a lot of the people I'd say that do believe in aliens have never even seen anything. So I guess they're basing that off of just
the vastness of the universe.
Yeah. The vastness of the universe. There's been stuff that's been released recently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
NASA and stuff
What? Or was the Air Force?
Was it the Air Force? Yeah, there's like a video out there.
Just someone credible, I guess.
No, this is completely credible.
It's declassified.
It's declassified stuff
from the Pentagon.
Yeah,
and don't kill us.
It happened in the midst of all the craziness that's been happening in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, they released it in 2020, didn't they?
Yeah, when everyone was full what's going on with COVID-19? It exists. No, it doesn't. Get a vaccine. Don't get a vaccine. Everyone's doing this, and then the government was just aliens exist, and we're like, shut up. We're talking about vaccines right now. So that's a pretty big thing. We need to look up an article about that, I guess. But so the people who wrote me their stories, I've got some typed down here. Let's see. Brad, someone named Brad, says, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a UFO, but when I was camping a long time ago, I saw a big fireball flying through the sky. I don't know if it was a comet or shooting star, but it was moving very slowly. I personally believe the universe is too big for there to just be life on Earth. So that's kind of like what we were saying.
Well, that too, they've started like some sort of research where they say that there's so many planets out there that resemble Earth and like could have life on them, because they're like kind of like Earth remodeled basically in other galaxies or solar systems, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a scientist or whatever you want to call this, space people, but yeah, so supposedly there's a bunch of different Earth-like planets out there that could, you know, have a good habitat for living.
Astronomist.
Yeah, I'm not an astronomer. But I do have the Star Tracker app. Not sponsored. We can cut that.
We're keeping it. Someone else named Michelle, which I keep saying someone named because I forgot to ask these people, can I say your name? So I'm just saying first name. We know these people. I know you, Brad.
You're giving more information.
I know you, Michelle. But Michelle actually voted no, that she did not. She's never seen a UFO.
But she believes in them.
But she believes in them, and she said, she gave this story. I thought that I saw a UFO because I saw a bright green flash, but apparently that's just a meteorite entering the atmosphere. But at that time, I almost peed my pants. So
yeah, I think I'd be pretty scared too if I saw that stuff without like knowing what it could be. That's like, oh
yeah,
no, we're being invaded.
Exactly. And I wanted to look this up. I wanted to look up like what does a meteorite look like flying into the atmosphere, because I don't know either. Is it always like a bright green, or is it different colors, or what?
I never thought about the colors. I just figured it would have been like orange.
Yeah.
Like
I just
flames.
see stuff shooting through the sky. I'm like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah. It's been a busy week at work. I wanted to look way more into this than I did. But bright green flash. If someone wants to look, Kristin, you want to look that up on your phone? To see bright green flash, or to see what a meteorite looks like coming into the atmosphere? While you're doing that, I can go on. Jason wrote me and said, I was like 8 years old, and this could have been something other than a UFO, but it was definitely not normal. We lived in Sharpstown, Houston at the time. It was late at night, and my sister and I were looking out the window. She was maybe 6. And we saw a greenish light blinking coming toward the window. And it looked like it was far away, but then, all of a sudden, it was like right there at the window. This glowing green ball appeared and then disappeared all of a sudden, and all the lights in the neighborhood went out. And that's all I can remember. It was the weirdest thing ever, and it stuck with me even after all these years.
Another green light.
That's why I wanted, like, I knew that was coming. That's why I was like, I want to look up the green light.
Well, from what I found in this quick search just now, depending on what the meteor is made out of is what color it's going to be.
Okay.
So it could be like red, green, yellow,
Oh,
blue.
that's cool.
So there's a range of colors it can be.
Okay.
That was probably just some sort of military experiment.
With Jason's,
like
or space trash.
EMPs, I think they are, you know,
Yeah.
with like where they cut out all the electronic stuff.
Yeah, because his was like a green flashing light, or a glowing green ball, and then as soon as it disappeared, all the lights in the neighborhood went out.
So anybody with government credentials, if y'all can get that declassified for
Yeah,
us,
let
any
us know.
public
Yeah.
experimentations with EMPs.
Let us know if you've seen green flashing lights or anything like that too.
But once y'all tell us, please don't wipe our memory.
Don't wipe our memories like you did Albert, and like you failed to do to me. I bet you didn't know that redheads need more anesthetic. This is real. Redheads need more in order to go under. So maybe it's the same thing with the mind erasing thing, and that's why I remember seeing the UFO. Ha!
They didn't know.
They didn't know the whole
The rare gene.
chemical
They didn't know how to do
imbalance
it.
in
They
redhead
didn't know. All right, and then we have one from Andy, which we spoke about her before. Our aunt. She wrote about the
Hello.
trailer house
And
and all
happy belated birthday.
Happy
since
belated
this
birthday.
Is after your birthday that we're recording this.
Happy belated birthday, because this is after your birthday.
Yeah. Just 2 days.
You like repeated your...
Yeah.
All right, well.
She says, I can't remember the year, but Kenny and I were outside and we saw something hovering toward the fairgrounds area. It was very weird, and it would hover, then move quickly, stop, and then do it again. Sound familiar? I remember a lot of lights, but that's about it. My memory sucks. But then my son Josh ends up telling me a story later that day that he was driving, and he said something came down right in front of him and him and Lexi, and just sat there like it was looking straight at them, and then it just took off just like that. He would be able to describe it better to you, but we were all talking about this later that day, and I was saying how I couldn't believe no one saw this or talked about it on social media, and then Edwin ends up saying that they saw it too. So that's 4 different people who all had the exact same description from different places around town.
Yeah, that's
They're
crazy.
after her family.
Yeah, and the whole that it came and then stopped and then would go again, like that's exactly like what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and like her story connected with me the most because I was like, oh dang, was this the same day? Who knows? Because she said it was like years ago. She can't remember when. Yeah. Could have been the same day that I saw it with Albert. And
then she remembered a lot of lights, and you said yours had some
yeah,
lights.
That could be the same exact day.
Same one. It was coming back for some more, whatever they're doing.
It abducted multiple people that night.
Could have been the what is it called? The slingshot at the fairgrounds.
Was it during fair season? Oh no!
The one that goes up and then drops you.
Yeah, but you can tell.
No, Donnie's debunking.
Not from afar.
You don't think, especially
Probably
during fair
so,
season,
but
you know
it's
where
not
those
that
lights
high.
are coming from.
Possible
Yeah.
skeptical systems is, you gotta have some skepticalism.
Skepticism.
Skepticism. I'm not the brightest tool in the coloring box.
Oh boy.
Donnie's debunking.
Shut up.
All right, I have one more story that someone wrote, but actually he didn't write. This is Josh Arnold. I can say his full name because he gave us permission to. He's helped us. If you guys have listened to the trailer, then you've probably heard his band Familiar with Failure screaming and playing the Terrorform podcast song that we use for our trailers. So they've been kind of helping us or motivating us ever since we started.
Been very supportive.
Being very supportive of us, so we appreciate that. And he streams on Twitch under Drifter Voyages. We'll put his link down below. He actually shouts us out on his Twitch stream and shows clips of our highlights and stuff. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, buddy. That's gonna help get us some
Traction, some
more
following.
traction. Yeah. And so I'm looking through my messages here. We can cut this if possible, if necessary. But I did not have this prepared because I forgot that he actually sent in an audio file of.
Should I tell my mom's story while you wait?
Yeah, because no. Your mom had a story, and yeah, she told us when she was over. So yeah, tell that story.
So this was years ago. I can't remember what year it was because I wasn't really the one that experienced it either. But it was when I was in high school. I was a teenager, and my mom went to go pick us up some fried chicken from Popeyes. She asked us to go, but we said nah. So she went all by herself. And I wish I would have went now just to see what she was talking about. But on her way back, she said she saw something like in the sky, but really low, too low to be an airplane, kind of like what Josh was saying. Sure. I think she described it as sparkly, or maybe it was just like there was like flashing lights or lights on it or something. And so it was low, and she was staring at it, and she was following it in her car. So she's like driving down the street trying to go home, and then she sees this UFO and starts following it down the road, and then it turns left. So then she turns, and she's going down that road following it, and she sees a few cars pulled over, and they're all staring at it too. So she wasn't the only one that witnessed it. And but at that point, since like there was a lot of people around, so she decided to turn around and go home, and she told us all about it. And she got on the radio hoping like someone was calling into the radio station saying what it was or if they saw it, but no one reported anything that we know of. And that's her experience with the UFO.
Something's in the water.
Something.
Hey.
But it's weird, like, this is all, I don't know how common it is for a bunch of people to see UFOs in a town,
in
At the same
but this is all
time.
like the same town.
Same water towers.
Yeah, but when they really see the same thing, though,
Shared hallucination.
that's a thing.
Shared hysteria. Is that a real thing?
I think shared hysteria could be.
I'm not sure. Is it?
Don't put me on the spot.
I didn't mean to stare you down when I asked.
Oh, dang, you elbowed my ear, boy.
But yeah, it's such a small. She also said, your mom said, that she's pretty sure your parents had a UFO experience. Have they ever told you about that, or do you
I
remember?
think they have, but it was like a while ago.
She said she doesn't know if they changed their thoughts on what they think it was, but something about they were driving and they saw one of them saw a flash of light outside the window, and then the other one said they saw an actual face. And so the one that saw the flash of light was like, no, it was an alien, it was a UFO. And the other one was like, no, it's like a ghost because I saw like an actual face. But they both saw something for sure.
Oh, yeah. I wish I'd remembered more. I guess we're going to have to ask your parents.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
get the details
Well,
about
I'm
that.
not sure.
It sounds familiar.
I know they had a ghost encounter, or my dad claims it was a ghost, but my mom said it was a cow.
That wasn't it.
But that's kind of what it's reminding me of, because they were driving down a back road or something,
Maybe
and then they saw a white light, which in that interview
it.
he saw it go across the street or the road, and then it went through the barbed wire. He said it was like a woman in a white dress, but she was like, no, I just saw a ball of light or something. I just saw light going across the way. And he was like, no, that was a woman. And she was like, no, I think it was a cow or something. He was like, well, it went through the barbed wire. Like it just passed through it. But I don't know if that is the same thing, but that's what it's kind of making me
I don't
think
think it's
of.
the same thing. 'Cause
I'll
I
have to
remember
ask them tomorrow.
them, like,
Yeah.
actually saying a UFO.
Not too sure.
Speaking of the interview, we can cut this, but should we make any announcement right now, or do you want to?
Well, let's
Just do it now.
For what?
off the record.
So we're making a documentary, is the plan. We're going to interview people. Donnie's already interviewed his dad, and show some behind-the-scenes footage of the Terrorform podcast and stuff like that. And who knows how long it's going to take to do this, but seems like a fun idea. So it's something we want to just start recording and see what happens. Hopefully
Keep
one
your
of us
eyes
gets
peeled.
possessed.
Gonna be trying to go on some ghost hunts here soon to some locations if possible. I know I got maybe 2 from my dad that we can kind of scope out.
Scope it out. Yeah, that's what I want to go, like, when we interview people, go check out the places that we can that they talk about, you know. Make a whole thing of it. So for the last alien story,
Super off topic for
I'm
a
gonna
while.
play. I'm gonna
Came out of
play.
left field.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna play the audio that Josh Arnold sent in, and I'll obviously add the audio into the actual video so that it's better quality. But for now, this is fresh for all 3 of you, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here we go.
Hello, my name is Joshua Arnold. I am 30, almost 31 years old. My hometown is Burnham, Texas, and that's where this story takes place. So back in high school, I believe I was like 16, maybe 17. I was on the phone with my friend, and this was in Burnham, Texas, over on Karen Lane. And I was talking to him about some stuff, and you know, when you are on the phone for a while, you sit there and you start pacing back and forth, you know. And so we were deep in conversation, and it was nighttime. It was a cloudy night, very cloudy night actually. And I just so happened to like look up at the sky. I don't know why. I just, I was in the middle of a conversation, looking around, walking around, pacing back and forth, and I happened to look up. Well, literally, as I look up, this bright light, like, imagine if someone were to like shine a spotlight into the clouds and like amplify the size. It just appears like it's like someone turned on a light and it just appears. And this light was behind the clouds. It was literally making rays come through the clouds. And so I see that and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And then the light started to move. And what it did is it basically illuminated right over me. And when I like want to emphasize on the size of it, hold your hands up and bend your elbows, and then basically separate your hands. And it was that big, but in the sky. So like it was huge. Anyway, so it starts to move, and it's slowly moving like away from me. And there's a tree line that is across the street from where we were living at the time. And it basically was heading for that tree line, basically where I wouldn't be able to see it in the sky anymore. And it was a solid object, like it was losing its size as it was moving away from me. And basically when it hits the tree line, right as it touches this tree line, it just like it takes off. Like you watch the light just like fly forward as super fast. It wasn't like it hit the tree line and disappeared. It wasn't like something, if it was a light, which it wasn't, because the light was shining from above the clouds down to the earth, not from the earth to the clouds. You could tell, like I said, you could see these rays of light coming through the clouds from this light. But yeah, it literally hits the tree line, and as soon as the part of the circle that was, furthest from me touches the tree line, it just takes off. And yeah, from what I understand, other people saw it. I've told this story before, and people have like said, "Oh, I remember that. I have memory of that." I was freaking out whenever I was on the phone with my friend. I was like, oh my God. And my brother, he actually was outside with me, and he also saw it too. Because when I saw it, I was like, do you see that? And he was like, yeah. It was nuts. It was crazy. But yeah, that's my UFO story. I have more. I guess I could do the other ones on here too, if you like, and you could just.
So I'm going to pause right there. He has about 1 minute and 22 seconds where he tells another story, but just to react to that one, any thoughts?
It's
pretty
weird.
scary.
Yeah, like I would be scared if I witnessed that. And it's weird how a common thing too with like UFOs is the quickly moving.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
it'll
that does
be
seem to
stopped
be a
or
recurring
slow
theme.
down and like move quickly in the opposite direction or something.
Yeah.
Just gotta do that time travel, the space travel.
Yeah.
Gotta go beat the light years.
To me, it kind of sounds like he may have been witnessing what I can best describe as from the PlayStation 2 game Destroy All Humans.
Oh, I remember
and that's
that
an alien game,
yeah.
huh?
Whenever you would go to abduct people, not necessarily abduct them, but like take their brains or whatever, you could pick them up with your beam from your UFO. So maybe he was just witnessing them scanning the earth, trying to find like someone like Albert to abduct with a weak mind. Sorry, Albert. that they knew they could easily erase.
It's like Chicken Little.
Oh, you're Chicken Little.
I'm Chicken Little. The sky is falling.
Yeah.
The sky is falling. No, it's not. I don't remember anything. My name's Albert. Shout out, Albert. Got that Halloween on. Got that Halloween. Drippy.
This was also in Burnham, but it was out in the country. Off of 389, I was going home, and I had my brother in the car with me. But both UFO stories happened with my brother. And if you don't believe me, you could hit him up and ask yourself. He remembers it too. But anyway, we both so happened to like look up in the sky as we were driving. It was in the middle of the night, late. There was not a cloud in the sky. It was beautiful. You could see all the stars. And this extremely green, like when I describe the color of green it was, think of like the Xbox, like in the middle of the X, that green. It was that color green, ball of light, like the size of like a meteor or something that you see, does this zigzag motion in the sky. Like it kind of appears and it goes brrr, and like it like zigzags back and forth, and then it just boom takes off. And I slammed on my brakes and was like, "Did you see that?" And he was like, "Yeah, what the hell?" Like, it was nuts. But yeah, those are my 2 UFO stories, and I hope that, you know, this is cool enough to get on your podcast. That'd be really cool. But I appreciate you listening, and thank you for your time.
Dang, the correlation with all the green
With all
lights.
the green,
These
yeah.
people don't
like-
even know each other.
We're gonna have to like do a bunch of research on
Yes.
this green light.
That
and
was my
see
plan, and
on
then
the
I
part
lost
2.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
For
gonna
part
do-
2, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a part 2 because I feel like there's much more to say and we're already so deep
we're already
into
running
it.
out of time.
This is like the time for the stories. We got all the stories this episode, and then the next one's like the deep dive into what could it be. Because we already got kind of a heads up from Michelle about the meteorite being green, but some of the stuff like it's a green flashing light and the light's going out, and Josh just said it zigzagged. Like, that's not a meteorite, right?
Just go in one direction.
Yeah.
It was bouncing off the satellites.
Yeah. If anything, aliens know about, you know, the meteorite, so they're like, if we're green, they'll think that's what we are.
Well, they are like little green men.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
Scary little green. It's Aussie. Pretty crazy. This small little town, how many people have seen something?
Yeah, I didn't realize how many people around here have experienced UFOs.
And like I said, everyone who said they have seen something I didn't even get a reaction for a response from everyone. Like my dad being one of them who says that he saw something, but we could save that for the documentary if I go interview him and get some info from him.
I could ask tomorrow I can ask my parents, and then on the next one we can
Yeah, because we can
Go
go
over
back
that
and
bit,
do more
you know,
with your
yeah.
dad, because, you know, I'm sure he's got more that he's going to remember, and we can press him for more details, and yeah.
was it waterboard him?
I was thinking stuff like that, but I was like, I'm not gonna say it.
We're coming for you,
Start
Randall.
threatening
Ran down.
Well,
Well, I guess I would like to cover something.
all right.
Maybe we can look more into it. This is just like a glimpse into it. We can go deeper in part 2. But it's not local or anything, but there's like a ranch kind of similar to Skinwalker Ranch somewhere out in the west of the US of A. And I can't quite remember the name right now. It's something, it has to do with like space. And the house is like haunted, and they have little aliens that come visit them at night and like mess with them. They call them Greys.
Grays.
Why do they
The
stay?
I don't know. And then they said one of them killed one with a katana, and they had a scientist like do research on it, figure out the DNA, trying to, you know, it's a new species, let's discover this. Apparently it also had like plant DNA, like because they found like chloroform in it, or chlorophyll, not chlorophyll.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Chlorophyll, the stuff that makes the plant green.
Okay.
And then they found like animal, like mitochondria from like animals. So it's like a combination of a plant and an animal. And they called them Greys. But then I guess the government found out about this and they killed him.
Whoa.
The Greys or the people?
The guy, the scientist,
Wow.
they said that he suffered a heart attack in the lab.
Mhm.
But a theory is the government killed him.
Sounds a little sus to
I
me.
mean, I found this out through Ghost Adventures, so it probably is sus.
I think I do remember the house you're talking about. But
It was
I
a
can't
pretty
remember
cool
much.
episode, but
But it does ring a bell.
yeah, I'll try to look into it more, because I just now thought of it sitting here. It was like Starry Night Ranch or something like that. I don't know. But they got
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It sounds familiar.
It's something space themed. Ah, interference.
I
Aliens
could
coming
see
through.
that.
They're trying to communicate. It's like we're Tesla. You know, you spoke to aliens.
Some of the scariest movies that I've seen are like the alien ones. I don't even know if I'd say scary, just utterly creepy. And I guess because of the
Xenomorph.
possibility that it's real. You
I
know?
mean, xenomorphs. Woo.
Ew,
I don't want to come into contact with one of those.
yeah. Like,
But yeah, the fourth kind,
The
that
Fourth
one messed
Kind.
me up when I watched
Have
it
y'all
the
seen
first
that?
time.
I don't
you're
know if
gonna
I have.
movie
It
night
sounds
then.
familiar, but
Oh, you
I'm
should
not
watch
sure.
it.
Yeah, their aliens are tied to owls.
Well,
somehow.
we can't. They look like owls at first. And
Yeah.
then, like, after that,
Okay,
we had
haven't
an
seen
owl
it.
on our street. So, like, in the, like, early morning, like, going to work or something, just hearing a hooing. And then I think of the movie and, like, oh, God, I'm about to get abducted by aliens.
Nice. Maybe you were, and they just wiped your memory.
Oh,
Yep.
maybe so.
Could be so.
It
I
was
mean,
close to the street that you saw the alien on.
yeah. There's a common, like, trope that it's like the supernatural things people see, different people believe they're different things. Like, there's people that say, like, everything is ghost. It's like a person who died and it's their spirit. And then there's people that say everything is demons. There's no such thing as ghost. It's all demonic.
Right.
And then there's people that say it's aliens. And they're coming to you in these different form, or they, like, for instance, throwback to the first episode, Smiling Man. I could see that being an alien.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could say that the
Yeah, he's struggling
Hat Man,
to morph into the human.
yeah, exactly.
No.
Uncanny
Exactly.
Valley.
Trying to look normal. I think humans
Gross.
smile and it
Right?
just gets too big because the mouth is
Smiling means
big.
happiness,
Yeah,
and like,
right.
like what's scary about smiling?
Yeah.
Why is everybody running
It
away
says
from
to
me?
never. Yeah.
I don't like that theory.
It says to never. I think humans don't break eye contact to be polite, so he's just looking at my dad,
Oh,
tilting
God.
his head.
Oh, he's just trying to have a good interaction. He's just traumatizing.
I'm gonna leave now.
I just want a friend.
And then Signs. That was a creepy one back in the day. Have y'all seen that one with Mel Gibson?
No, but I've heard of it.
Y'all haven't seen that? We have to watch
The
these
only
alien movies.
Alien movies I've seen is like
Okay, we'll watch
Independence
these
Day.
alien movies for
That
part
one's
2 as well. We'll go
lighthearted in
into
comparison to this other
Yes.
stuff.
Or
Yes.
like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I think I saw that like, you know, when I was really young, so I don't
Yeah.
remember a lot of it.
And
But
with like the mountain thing, when the aliens meet at the mountain.
with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, it's old. It's like the 70s, I think.
With
or
Dwayne The
80s.
Rock Johnson, the WWE superstar, the guy who hosted the Super Bowl.
That's the only one that I've seen.
Or E.T. I've seen E.T.
But I mean, was that an alien movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
With The Rock?
E.T.
E.T.
Oh,
No, with The Rock.
what are you talking
I was
about?
like, it stands for
It's- yeah.
extraterrestrial.
Is extraterrestrial an alien?
I'm just an NPC in this life. I'm just a Fallout NPC gliding through the.
He's an alien. He's
He's an
trying to
alien,
blend
yeah,
in
you
right
gotta
now.
blend in
We're
over
gonna
there.
end up attacking each other.
Yeah, don't trust you, buddy.
So,
So.
did you do a sketch for this episode?
Yeah, what's the
Oh,
sketches?
I did.
You're acting kind of sketch right now, bro.
You're acting
You're acting kind of sketch. There
You
you
do see that in your driveway.
Oh,
You know that I
God.
kind of imagine stuff
On
like
your-
that every morning walking
You'll
to
get
my
a
car.
notification for your camera going off. and
Oh
you review
my
the footage,
God.
And it's that
Oh
on the,
no.
I just imagine it.
coming up to your door. So, any Instagram artist out there, go
Well,
ahead
John,
and give
yeah.
a alien depiction.
I
and
feel like the aliens would be more creative. You have more creative freedom. Like,
Yeah. Send us some what you think aliens look like.
right?
Are they skinny with the big head? Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the freak that Erin drew? Are,
Are they all humanoid?
Oh,
they
The
all
Thing.
humanoids?
That's an alien
Oh,
movie.
we all watched the thing together. That's right.
So that
That's a
could
bomb
that
movie.
could be the
That's the
smiling
mimicking
man.
one.
Yeah.
He's trying to
Yeah.
mimic the human, but he can't
exactly.
get the features right.
I think we solved it. We're
It's
gonna
the-
look
oh
into
my
it in the
god! If the
documentary.
thing existed, that no, there's no way. That's so scary. That movie was so good.
But Donnie, where do they send the pictures to? I forgot.
The pictures.
Yeah, if
come
they
on.
draw stuff, where do they send
Where
it
they
to?
send it?
Oh,
Terrorform podcast at gmail.com. Also available on Instagram and Facebook.
Terrorform podcast.
Terrorform podcast.
There's some YouTube comments too, but we're doing pretty good on time.
Yeah,
Should we
part
save
two.
it?
Pretty,
Yeah, I think we could save it.
We'll save them for part 2.
Yeah.
Well, on the next episode maybe. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't
the
know if
next
part 2 will be
episode.
the next episode. But,
Yeah, exactly.
Also debuting a new mug. It's black right now, but if you've been paying attention this entire video, it was colored, well, black and white, but it had a picture
It was
underneath
visual,
the black.
like you could see it.
And now
So
it's full
any
black.
coffee drinkers, if we ever gain enough traction, we might be able to produce some. Get y'all's coffee in these mugs, and you can see our faces even when you're not listening or watching. Probably not
Yo.
for another 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Probably 10.
Lowball 15.
You know, we got inflation right now. Things are a bit
A little
expensive.
bit expensive. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps her up for Aliens Part 1. Part 2 will be coming soon. Not next, but soon.
You know, soon.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Peeled.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Stay
Ooh, that sounded gross.
It sounded like an alien. It sounded like some dubstep thing.
Deuces.